In this scene where Lila was with Felix inside the armor of Gozen, a lot of us were wondering, why didn't she collect Kagami's ring from Felix? The plan was simple. Take Felix's ring, control him, and expose all the secrets of the Miraculous. But that plan failed because Felix was holding Kagami's ring instead. So the question became, why didn't she just take that ring instead? Just moments earlier, Tomoe tried all her best to snatch the same ring off her finger, but Kagami fought back. She transformed into Ryuko just in time and concealed the ring, and Tomoe couldn't take it from her. So now, that same ring was right there, within reach, practically in Lila's grasp. Yet she still didn't take it. Why? I'll tell you 3 good reasons why this happened and how it could have led to a proper face-off between Felix and Lila, the fight I have always wanted to see. Think back to what happened earlier between Kagami and her mother. Their argument was intense. When Kagami transformed into Ryuko, the entire house was filled with rage. One stomp of her foot and it felt like everything was about to collapse. That was Kagami's fury on full display. Kagami is not someone you mess with. Chloe tried once, and Kagami immediately put her in her place. Now Lila was aware of this fight because she lives in the same house as Mrs. Tsurugi and Kagami. So she definitely heard the argument, the chaos, all of it, even when the house was almost falling apart. It's almost certain that Mrs. Tsurugi provided a lair in her home for Lila to carry out her secret investigations, trying to figure out who Ladybug and the other miraculous holders are. So Lila was definitely around when everything went down. She saw or heard enough to understand just how scary Kagami can be. That's the first reason why she couldn't take Kagami's ring from Felix. Fear of what Ryuko could actually do to her. Ryuko was absolutely ruthless in her battle against Gozen. She didn't give it a moment to breathe as long as Felix was still in danger. Besides, even if Lila had taken the ring at that point to try to control Kagami, it wouldn't have worked anyway. This is because Kagami no longer existed at that moment. Only Ryuko did. The power of the miraculous shields every trace of the original holder to the point where he or she effectively no longer exists. That's why Adrian was unaffected when Ladybug broke his rings, because he was Cat Noir at that point, not Adrian. On top of that, Lila was afraid that if she stayed any longer, Ryuko could infiltrate the Gozen armor as a water dragon, just like she did in a previous episode, and catch her red-handed. And Lila does not want that at all. She cannot afford to be seen by anyone right now. No one should even suspect whether she was a girl or a boy. She loved the fact that Ladybug had no clue who she was or what she looked like. Another reason is that taking the ring would expose Mrs. Tsurugi, who would automatically become the main suspect, the controlling mother who always wanted power over her daughter. Think about it. Felix freezes, is taken into custody, and then Kagami's ring suddenly goes missing. It would have been incredibly easy to figure out that it was all planned from the beginning. Lila also doesn't want anyone knowing that she's working with Mrs. Tsurugi. If that connection were exposed, Tomoe would be watched closely, and it wouldn't take long for Ladybug to figure out Lila's hiding place. That's why she tells Mrs. Tsurugi to fall into the river, so she can escape unnoticed. She doesn't want to be seen. She doesn't want anyone to know she's directly involved with Tomoe. She's covering her tracks carefully, because the last thing she wants is to be exposed by Ladybug. Now let's talk about the second and main reason Lila did not dare touch that ring. Felix. I'm almost certain Mrs. Tsurugi would have warned Lila about the kind of person Felix is. This is someone who does not back down, someone who goes after what he wants regardless of the opposition, regardless of who stands in his way. A person who once wiped out the entire world with a single snap of his fingers. That's not a detail you leave out. She would have told Lila how intelligent he is, how calculating, how dangerous. She would have told her about the problems Felix caused Gabriel back when Gabriel was still Hawkmoth, how he outplayed him, cornered him, and never once showed fear. So Lila knew exactly who she was dealing with. Taking Kagami's ring from Felix's custody would have been an enormous risk. If Felix realized that Kagami's ring was missing, he would not hesitate. He would do anything, absolutely anything, to get it back. He would identify the culprit in no time at all. Within a snap of a finger, he would know who was responsible. He could create centimonsters. He could manipulate reality itself. There is no limit to what he could do to recover that ring. And let's be honest, the peacock Miraculous is terrifying. It's one of the most powerful Miraculous in existence. Some would argue it's even more powerful than ladybugs, because it allows its holder to create anything they want. That level of power makes Felix unstoppable when he's motivated. Lila knows this. She knew that if Felix had to, he would turn all of Paris upside down just to get his girlfriend's ring back. There would be no hiding, no escape, no clever manipulation that could save her. So she backed off. She let it go. She abandoned the plan and chose survival over ambition. Because at the end of the day, Lila isn't brave. She's not powerful. She's a coward. She's sly. She's manipulative. She hides behind lies and schemes. She is everything Kagami is not, and everything Felix would destroy without hesitation. And that is why she didn't take the ring. Honestly, I still wish Lila had taken that ring, because if she had, we would have finally seen Argos, the real Argos, fully unleashed. Not the quiet observer, not the boy standing in the shadows, but Felix at his most dangerous. I wanted to see what he would have done differently, how he would have hunted her down step by calculated step, how he would have used pure intelligence, not brute force, to expose her lies and dismantle everyone who stood between him and his girlfriend's ring. He would show no mercy, just strategy, precision, and there would be consequences. It would have been terrifying, and it would have reminded us why Felix was never someone to underestimate. I just miss the Felix we used to know. Anyways, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year, guys.